Tell me something that made you really happy in your life, any time in your life. So, the happiest day of your life.
Oh my goodness. I never clue. I was always happy. I had a very happy childhood. I had lovely parents, I had lovely grandparents, I had lovely aunts and uncles. And I was actually very spoiled, even by the neighbors. You know, I don't know. And then I looked after them too because they wanted me to make little, go to the shop for them or whatever. And I always did. And yeah, the neighbors, they liked me too. I was very liked, so I'm very lucky. We all lived in my oma's and opa's house, grandpa's house. The sister of my mother, the elder sister, she was a nurse. So she had the attic, the room in the attic, because she slept out during the day. She had night shift. Anyway, then I remember, and my grandfather took me every day for a walk with the dog. She had two dogs, Bucky and Lucky. And my grandfather always wanted a grandson, but he had a granddaughter, but he was just, he was as well, he loved me, and my grandmother. And then I remember that I think the Zeppelin came over, I don't know what year it was. The Zeppelin, it's like a big airship.
Yeah.
And we had a window like that. And I looked out there and then the thing went over our house. It was really good. Zeppelin, they call it. I think it was some German thing. Anyway, I remember that. And then when my grandfather took me on his early walk with the dogs, we went in that street that came back. It was a music and sort of a roundabout thing. Yeah, orchestras came to make music. I never went there because it was usually later, and I was young and I couldn't go there. Anyway, and then around the corner, the people on Monday when they're washing, they had to get hot water around the corner. You could buy it, Everyone did the washing on Monday.
Had to buy your hot
and
water.
Hot water, your hot water. Because there was no hot water in the house. It was not like that, hot and cold water. It's very primitive. It was 1925 when I was born.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago. Anyway, I remember this very well. Anyway, so, and I think my mother was opa's favorite daughter, I think. Because my mother was very sporty. She played tennis, she rode a motorbike, she was very, and she smoked cigarettes. Very long, pink ones and blue ones and purple ones. She was very with it. But she was naughty too. And that was when I was 6 years old, I went to school. My mother took me to school, and I had a very nice teacher. Mrs. Krauwers was her name. But I was not there for long, because we shifted. We all shifted. My opa and oma went to the Fuchsiastraat, and my opa bought everybody a house. We lived in number 31, and they lived in 159, and my two aunties, they lived opposite, 184 and 182. And my eldest auntie, the nurse, my opa bought her a 3-story house, which looked after people with mental things, after a birth. So, and she had 14 cats. Anyway,
Who was that had 14 kids?
14 cats.
Cats.
Cats, 14 cats, yes. Anyway, she got trouble with the neighbors. So when she sold the house. Then she bought a boat in Leiden with the 14 cats. Nobody could bother her. So I like my auntie Truus, she's nice. She was engaged to be married, but the husband of the future husband passed away because he had tuberculosis. And after that, she had never had a man in her life. So she's, all her life, she devoted herself to people, sick people, and looked after especially women who had mental problems.
Oh, she's got visitors.
Come in, come in, come in. Meet my daughter-in-law,
We've met.
Cindy. Christmas.
What was school like when you started school?
Oh, I loved school. I went to Sunday school as well. And every week you had to bring a little thing out of the Bible. You had to learn that by heart. When you come the next week on Sunday school, you have to, to come for the class and you have to read it. And that was Sunday school. I loved school. I loved sums and writing and everything.
Tell me your memories of the war, the World War II.
Terrible, the war. When the war started, you heard all that noise on the street, and that was in the middle of the night. It was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I think it was. And everybody was on the street, looking at the sky. You saw the parachutes coming down over the woods, and they were all over there. And a lot of the parachutes they did in trees, and there was nobody, it's horrible. Everybody was looking, and oh, we are in war, and that. I was only 15 when the war broke out. I was a teenager, so I didn't know what was going on. Everybody was looking at the people, the parachutes just going down in the parachute, and you don't really know what it is like, And then I was married up to that, and can you say, it's horrible.
When did you fall in love with Dad?
Oh, I didn't fall in love with Dad. I fell in love with Uncle Tom. But he didn't want me. So I was just, and then Dad liked me, so I stuck with Dad.
Good choice. Good choice.
Anyway, it turned out to be okay. He was very good to me. But love comes later, probably.
Tell me about your wedding day.
A wedding day, oh, that was funny. It was war, and we had to take the tram, and it was the last tram from the day in the morning, and I was hanging on the, and Dad was behind me to hold me back. That's how we went to our wedding day. And on the way back, we had to walk back. There was no tram anymore in the
No
morning.
limousine for you.
Hey?
No limousine.
Oh, I looked nice. I had I call it a wandelpak, I don't know what you call it. No wedding dress for that. I was not married in white. I didn't see. I had how you call it, a suit or something, I don't know. A suit, and I walked back home. Wedding day. I didn't have a wedding day. How did you have to take that?
Did you get some nice wedding presents?
I can't remember. Oh, you got money.
Money and potatoes.
Oh, yeah. 60 kilo potatoes. And we had to hide it. Otherwise people, they steal it. There was no food. I was married in the wartime. Terrible time. And Dad made a sort of a table, and it was hollow, a big book, and put all the potatoes there. I put a little round thing on it and a cloth over it, so nobody can steal it. Oh, it was terrible. Terrible time. But we were happy.
Yeah?